Yo, what's going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we are back with Bitcoin because Bitcoin is back. We saw it rally over $50,000 again yesterday, and there's a lot of good signs right now. We are in a much better position now than we were just a few days ago. So, just looking even at the basic things for Bitcoin here, we can see the price and everything, but this is important right here, the volume at like $38.5 billion. That is massive for the volume. That's like levels we were seeing earlier this year when there was so much hype around Bitcoin. And the reason that's so important is because if we look at Bitcoin for search terms, it's nowhere near where it was earlier in the year. This was January, and it peaked again like May here. And then this was a giant crash and everything, consolidation. But we're seeing, I mean, this is the lowest levels since around December 6th, December 6th or 12th, 2020. So basically, almost last year was when levels were this low, and we're seeing the volume here being almost $40 billion. That's massive volume. What this tells me is that more than likely there's a lot of big players getting involved in Bitcoin with announcements later in the year or down the road in a couple months maybe, or whenever their earnings calls are, or whenever they make these announcements, is going to be triggering for a lot of these retail people to like FOMO in. A lot of giant companies could be getting into Bitcoin, adding to their balance sheet, doing all of these moves, which would reflect in volume and the price. And with the trend being this low right now, being just the lowest it's been all year in 2021, it just to me signals big players getting involved, and then this trend will probably skyrocket once those announcements start to be made. I mean, just looking at the price here, this is the daily chart. We are above this massive level, which was resistance for a while, basically since August 25th acted as a resistance here, and we finally got able to pop above it, and right now maintaining above it. I added this line in, which is $50,457, because you see we got like a little pullback here, rejection back here. This one kind of counted in there, so 3 times in a relatively short period of time. So this is the next bigger resistance. Getting over 50K, this would probably, getting over 50,500 would be a much more solidifying move over 50K, and then we would see where more resistance might be made here. But as it stands now, it would be no resistance, or very easy to trend up to 58, 59,000, and then ultimately to new all-time highs. The only form of resistance that I'm seeing, that I could see on this chart with these lines, would be this channel line here. So what we could see is if it's going up, kind of bouncing off of this line here the whole time going up, or if it breaks back into this channel, then we could see it rally to this top line. But right now, market in a much better position than it was a couple days ago when we were at, literally 47,000 and challenging a drop which could have went down to 44K. And there's some big news happening in Bitcoin with a lot of bank jumping in, and Texas passing a bill which is right here, like official. The Texas Bitcoin bill is now in effect. Bill creates legal clarity for Bitcoin and recognizes it under the state's commercial laws. So Bitcoin being, or Texas becoming Bitcoin friendly. You can see all this. I don't know exactly what's in this bill and how it all says, but legal clarity is good for the markets. That just eliminates uncertainty, and uncertainty is a massive factor that can weigh down any market. We see it in the stock market, in Bitcoin and crypto. If you're uncertain about the future, people be hesitant about getting involved. But coming out clarity here, Texas is becoming a massive Bitcoin mining like state and place. So there's a lot of people talking about, them adding to the hash rate and becoming a major hash rate contributor, and it's very possible. Next, we have the Vast Bank, now the first federally chartered U.S. bank to let customers buy and sell Bitcoin from their checking accounts. This is massive integration. The banks know that they have to get involved in this, or they'll just be kicked out by any bank who does get involved, or by people just opting into Bitcoin and leaving the banks altogether. But this is massive news for them, a federally chartered bank, something just more and more businesses and people getting involved in Bitcoin, getting involved in this ecosystem. And I think that that's just providing valid points for people to look at and say, big business is getting in, banks are getting in, the people have been in, and more people are getting in. It's just all around, everything seems to be really floating around Bitcoin and fundamentally strengthening it. Businesses jump in, businesses are made on Bitcoin, the balance sheets, people being able to use it as a savings device where it can appreciate more than inflation. And what we've seen is actually vastly increase their purchasing power. So everything about Bitcoin and this move is just very bullish. And if that's not going to provide enough validity to crypto and Bitcoin, then this fund management giant, Franklin Templeton, I never heard of it, but is hiring a cryptocurrency trader, and they have $1.56 trillion under management. And this is their little ad here. We can see needing a trader crypto for cryptocurrency full time, blah blah. It just talks about their stuff, but again, massively bullish, bringing on more people. These big hedge funds know that you have to get involved in Bitcoin because now people aren't having it anymore. It used to be where you could talk about Bitcoin and kind of tell people, don't worry about Bitcoin, it's too risky, too volatile, all this and everything. Give them all the keyword FUD, and they would let it go. But now after 10 years, seeing it go up hundreds of thousands of percent in that 10-year span, and knowing that their financial person told them not to worry about it, now you have to get involved in Bitcoin. Otherwise, you look like you don't know what you're talking about. And the integration doesn't stop there. We've got Twitter. Product lead confirms it. There was the rumor of Twitter linking the Lightning Network with people's Twitters. And it is confirmed now. Lightning's coming to Twitter. With Lightning, Bitcoin can send payments nearly at the speed of light, 1 million times more energy efficient than Visa or PayPal, and open to 7.8 billion people in the world. Twitter is just the beginning. Completely agree. Twitter is very much just the beginning of what Bitcoin adoption is going to look like. I want to stick to this point because it's a big point. The internet was passed down as it's not going to do anything. It's not really going to change anything. People doubted the internet for a long time, and right now we live every single day using the internet, whether you realize it or not. And currently we're at the size of the internet in terms of users with Bitcoin in 1997. People were still doubting the internet back then, saying the fax machine is going to have a greater impact on the world than the internet. Nobody uses a fax machine anymore. Everybody uses the internet. So Bitcoin just getting started, and this adoption is happening 2 times faster than how the internet got adopted. So we could see this growth start to get very, very explosive. And just this was the thing that got leaked that everyone was trying to say about Bitcoin and the Lightning Network on Twitter, and it is confirmed now. But basically, this little update thing saying, giving you what is the Lightning Network, set up your wallet. So using Strike, which obviously the Jack Mallers, and he really created Lightning and got all this stuff going. Secure cryptography, talking about Bitcoin and stuff. But this is massively bullish, fundamentally bullish. Everything is pointing great. So if all you do is look at the price of Bitcoin, then you are going to be missing out on explosive growth because the price of Bitcoin can be short-term bearish or pulled down by things out of Bitcoin's control, out of the fundamentals and network's control. But ultimately, the fundamentals take over long-term. If the market wants it and people are adopting it, businesses are adopting it, then you can't suppress Bitcoin and the price forever. And honestly, the price is the lowest thing when looking at Bitcoin. What Bitcoin can do, it's not all about what the price of Bitcoin is. It's literally so much more than that. But a lot of people fixated on the price. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Some good Bitcoin news. Got over that 50K mark and are in a much better position to try and actually get over it and reclaim it within the next couple days, maybe even this weekend. As always, guys, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. See you guys in my next video.